However, Parliament must not sit in camera for the hearings. My senior colleagues at IMANI have linked Parliament's decision to sit in camera over the banking difficulties to conducting a marriage ceremony for two black magicians, male and female, performing vanishing acts in the dark while planning to kiss each other. Concerns about the planned exercise as in previous cases under the past government are, however, focused on the quality of the GIPC Act itself, whether it advances our nation's economic interest, whether it contributes to sound policy making, and whether in fact it makes coherent sense. We know that it has been 11 years since the Ghanaian cabinet under 3 governments was advised by the GIPC of the need to update the Act. Even though the Act was revised in 2013, we have not seen any policy paper from the immediate past government and the current one in connection with the need to upgrade the investment laws of this country to align with the country's current and evolving needs. In the case of what is obliquely referred to as trading enterprises, there's a requirement that the foreign investor puts up a minimum of $1 million in capital and employ very few Ghanaians. The Act actually stipulates that foreign traders cannot do businesses from kiosk or engage in what is referred to as hawking or petty trading. The perverse implications of these arbitrarily thrown together provisions mean that there is virtually no proper elucidation of real-world supply chains. There are no guiding principles for wholesale, distribution, retail, logistics, or cartage. There's absolutely nothing in the law that stops 200 foreigners from forming a cooperative with 10 Ghanaians, pulling up the minimum capital and registering the cooperative as a business with the members identified as employees, and then operating from the backs of minivans, as is the practice in many countries. Even worse, since the law precisely defines a trading enterprise to mean a business involving only the purchasing and selling of goods, any value-added services render the meaning of the Act unclear. For example, it has also led to the bizarre situation where even as we preach regional integration, we are blocking other ECOWAS nationals from participating in our economy because they cannot afford $1 million at get-go, knowing very well that business success is rarely about startup capital and almost always about entrepreneurial energy, management, and dedication. It is important for policymakers to realize that Ghana is now in the shrinking minority of countries that insist on arbitrary minimum capital requirements for entrepreneurs and investors from outside seeking to participate in the economy, and certainly for local banks. While certainly local content is not enhanced, when 88% of port charges are not directly linked to the services provided, but rather for revenue generation, as a recent USAID report suggested. However, the point must be made clearer that we want foreigners partaking in our economy to be above board and make clean disclosures about their minimum local content declarations. In one of my conversations with a regulator in the upstream petroleum sector, I was mortified to hear the dodgy calculations and subsequent deductions made by some companies. But for a critical inquiry by the regulator, Ghana would have been shortchanged. Perhaps this is the reason we need to clarify our local content rules. Perhaps when the draft local content policy from the Trade Ministry is finalized, we will be well served. Meanwhile, at IMANI, we eat data and produce evidence, which is what the team of diligent young men and women, equal in number, do every day, and will be presented to you shortly. But they need your support. We are grateful to the Danish Embassy and Ambassador Tove for the kind support given IMANI since 2014, as we both think through Ghana's tax systems to enhance domestic revenue mobilization and accountability in usage. We have a few publications displayed at the registration desk. Please buy some to keep the work going at IMANI. Thank you very much.